Hi, so today I'm going to show you how to share your Google Classroom calendar that is automatically created for each of your classes via a link or embed that calendar in your website. So first we're going to work on how to share the calendar via a link. You need to first go to your classroom homepage, and then from here, once the classes load, you need to select your class and go inside. And then come over here and click on the About tab. And right here, in case you've never noticed, here is your Google Calendar. And you can actually open your Google Calendar by clicking here. And this loads the calendar for that particular class. So on the side here, all of your classes should now be listed. I only have the one class that I'm working with highlighted. If others are highlighted, you'll see all of them here as well. But we're focusing on one of your classes. Next to that class that you want to share, click on the down arrow and come up here, and we're going to click on Share this calendar. So by default, the calendar is not made public, and in order for people outside the organization of Fort Lee to access the calendar, they may not have a Google account, and they certainly aren't in our domain. We need to click on this button that says Share this calendar with others, and then click here, Make this calendar public. If you don't click on that and make the calendar public, anybody outside the organization of Fort Lee will not be able to access the calendar. So that's the first step to sharing your calendar. And then down here, we're going to click Save and say, yes, warning, this is warning you that your calendar will be public, that they'll be able to see it. That's fine. Okay, so now my calendar is public. Now I want to get the link so that I can place that link on my School Fusion page or send an email out, whatever way you want to do it, and I'll show you how to do it on your School Fusion page. So in order to get that link, I'm going to come over here to my class again, click on the down arrow again, and then come up here, and now I need to go to Calendar Settings. And inside the Calendar Settings here, you'll see right here, Calendar Address, okay, and it says HTML. This is the address for your calendar. No one can use this link unless you have made your calendar public. We've already done that. So to get the link, we want to click HTML, and here's the link. So we're going to highlight that link, okay, right click on the link and copy the link. Now, that's the step. I have the link. I'm going to come over here and go to FLBOE and log in to my School Fusion site. Click Login and go to the page where you want to put the link for your calendar. So if this was my one period, if I have 5 periods, I can put a link for each period there. So I'm going to go to the middle school, and I'm going to find my classroom or my page. And in this case, I'm going to do a club and an organization here because that's the classroom that I'm using. And I'm going to come over here to my Library Council page. And over here on the right, I have links. Now, if you don't see this, okay, it may not be visible. I'll show you how you can get it out there. Click down here under Add School Fusion Tool and click on Links. And wait a second, and the Links category is added. Okay, so you have 2 ways. You can just click Create Link and come over here, and this is where you're going to right-click and hit Paste. That's the link that we got that connects to your Google Calendar. And then you can title it. So I might say Library, in this case, Council, and if it was a period, let's say it was period 2, I would click and I would type that, and then to come down here and I would click Create Link. And then right under here, you'll see it says Library Council period 2, and when I click on it, I'm brought to the Library Council calendar, and parents and students can access the calendar without having to log in to a Google account. So that's a really neat way to share your calendar. And you can go ahead and do that for each of your calendars and have a link to each of your calendars here. That's step 1. That's one way to share your calendar. The second way to share your calendar is to actually embed the calendar. Embedding means you get a code, an HTML embed code, and that embed code will actually put a little mini picture of your calendar anywhere you want on the web page, like under an announcement, for example. So if we want to do that, we have to go back. So we're going to come back to the classroom. We're going to click again, open in Google Calendar. It opens up my calendar. I've already made the calendar public, so if I click down on the down arrow, I'm going to go up to my calendar settings. And then I'm going to come down where it says embed this calendar in your website or blog by pasting this code into your web page. The code is over here, but before I copy and paste that code, I'll take a minute and I'll show you how you can customize the color, size, and some of the other options by clicking on this link right here. So that opens up the Customize panel. This is what your calendar will look like. These are all the different features that you can have show. Right away, I'm going to get rid of the time zone. I don't necessarily need that there. And you can play around with some of these other titles and see what you do or don't want to include. I have it defaulted to the monthly view. I think that's a lot easier for parents to see. And then down here, what's nice is you can add other calendars. So if you want to do all of your classes at once and make just one calendar for all 5 of your classes or 6 of your classes in some of your cases, you would just go through and select each of your classes calendars right here. And you'll notice that they all appear in the drop down arrow over here. So parents can come in if they're in period 2 on their web page when they come in and they view the calendar, and if they just want to see period 2 activity, they could uncheck the other calendars that don't apply to them and only view the class their child is enrolled in. Now, if you're going to add multiple calendars when you create this embeddable calendar, you have to remember to go back in the way I showed you and make those other calendars for your other periods public. Otherwise, those calendars won't be accessible to anybody without a Fort Lee or a Google account within our institution. So please make sure you remember to do that. You might want to do that first before you come in here, make all of your calendars public, and then come in here and you can check them off in your list of calendars, and they'll be viewable by the parents, by everybody. Once you're done there, you can come over here and you'll notice that this is a very large calendar, and I probably wouldn't want to use this size in my website, so you might want to change the width and the height, and I tend to like 455 by 300. That gives a nice size calendar. Nothing gets cut off at the top, and the height is not too much as well. Then you can change the day of the week that the calendar starts on, and you can also add a border over here and change the background color to some other color, and that changes like the heading. The last thing you might want to do is change the calendar title. So you might want to make this, if it's covering all of your classes for civics, let's say, you might title it civics, or if it's all of your algebra classes and you're going to add all of those classes in this little drop down arrow, you might title it algebra. Otherwise, if you're doing a separate calendar for each class, you could say algebra period 2 as your title. So in this case, I've included multiple library calendars, so I'm just going to name it library. And then when I click off, you'll see that the title of that calendar is changed. So make sure you do that before you copy and paste the embed code. You can also at any time click on Update HTML. That will update the code to match all of the changes that you've made here. Once you're satisfied with the way the calendar looks, you simply need to highlight the embed code, right-click on it, click Copy, then come back over to your web page, whatever page you want to embed that code in. Make sure you're logged into SchoolFusion. Come down here and click on Add Announcement. Give a title to your announcement. In this case, I'm going to call it the Library Google Classroom Calendar. And then instead of pasting it right into the template here or the body of the announcement, you do need to click on this button right here called Source. That's going to tell the program that you are going to be using an HTML code. So then you can come down here and right-click and click on Paste, and that long code will be pasted. Then hit Enter once, and then unclick on Source, and you'll see that it creates something called iframe. That's the size. That's what your calendar will pretty much look like. Scroll down, and I like to include a horizontal line in between my announcements. So what I'm going to do now is come up here and click on Insert Horizontal Line. And when I'm all done, come down here and click on Save. And then let's see what the calendar looks like. And that's what the calendar looks like once it's embedded in your website, and it's pretty good. Over here on the drop-down arrow, somebody who's visiting the site can uncheck any of the events that they're not interested in. So if they were only interested in my Media Center Council calendar, they could just show that, and that would give that view there. And then they could change to the agenda view, the weekly view, the monthly view, and see all of it. They could print any of the activities. The only kinds of things that we'll post on your calendar from your classroom are assignments and questions. Announcements will not post. So that's how you embed your calendar into your website. If you have any questions, come see me in the Media Center and we can sit down together and go through it step by step. Thank you.